Hey, good day, all. I'm Reign of Tears, and I'd like to just somewhat off the cuff, sort of speak about the scarcity of foundational Black Americans, aka formerly known as Black Americans or African Americans, in the genre of post-apocalyptic fiction. Now, things have changed over the years. Now, when we're going to go back into let's say the 1940s and 1950s, it was very rare to see African American or foundational Black American in any capacity in a science fiction film. And if it was, it would either be someone that was quote unquote the scared Negro, with exaggerated facial gestures and exaggerated fears. I'm not going to mock play. I think everybody knows what I mean when I say exaggerated, stereotypical actions that the foundational Black American actor or actress would play. Now, in the 1950s, toward the late 1950s, the portrayal and actually having foundational Black Americans in post-apocalyptic fiction, started to change a little bit. They'd be side roles. Now, a little known film called Five actually had an African American character that was one of the 5 people left on Earth. The rest was men and one woman. The rest were Caucasian. But unfortunately, the African American was still within the range of playing a stereotypical, fearful, not as fearful as like in the 30s and 40s where they were making exaggerated facial gestures, but the character was sort of, I would say, somewhat subservient to the other white male characters, even though all of them were quote unquote of the same station or same rank, survivors trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. But it was groundbreaking in that sense. It was actually a very good movie. Now, a movie that was made in 1959, which actually had a actually not a foundational Black American, but let's just say a Black American of Caribbean ancestry, was The World, the Flesh, and the Devil, which starred Harry Belafonte. That was actually an excellent film from the post-apocalyptic side, which, in terms of the effects, and it was filmed in black and white, so that sort of added to the ambiance. And it was set in the New York City area, so that would be one that I would recommend. I think that the acting portrayal by Harry Belafonte and other male actor of the 3, because the actress was a female, was Mel Ferrer, and they were somewhat rivals for the last female. Now, it sort of went into stereotypical scenarios where, Harry was his character was some such subservient, or I wouldn't say subservient, but like indicating that, since the last woman, presumably that was white, and this gentleman was white, Mel Ferrer, the character that he played, that he should step aside, even though in the movie it seemed like the white character, female character, sort of like had a preference for Harry Belafonte, was sort of the self-sacrificing Negro trope, which was also a sort of stereotype, not just in fiction, but in other genres of movies too. But, that's a story for another day. But all that being said, it was very well done, very well presented. There were other movies that were in the 60s, a few, that had African Americans in them. But, mainly in the 60s, it was, other than side characters or auxiliary players, the presence of African Americans after that point was pretty slim. This is part 1 of my analysis and observation about post-apocalyptic films. So I hope that you take a look at this. Check out the films the couple of films that I mentioned. I think that you will enjoy them, and you may come to your own conclusion. This is Reign of Tears, and I look to see you the next time. Take care and have a good life. Bye now.